The 9th episode starts and we see Harna meets Asep, and he tells him that he wants to meet Wulan and Wisnu as they are still in danger. Only then do they hear Wisnu's scream, and we see Wisnu screaming in pain in his room. Harna then comes there with Asep and tells them to get Wisnu on the bed. They put him on the bed and Harna tells them to step back. He then takes out a dagger and makes a cut on his back, causing many centipedes to come out, and then he takes out a knot from there. Harna then tells them that their enemy is far more dangerous than he thought, and he is afraid that it is not over for Wisnu. He took out the knot, but the shaman hasn't met their goal yet, and she will surely try again, and to really save Wisnu, they have to go to the source. Wulan asks him does he know where it is, to which he tells them that when he was doing the Raga Sukma, he found out that the shaman lives in Banyuwangi. Wulan says their father used to run a business together over there, and Harna says it's very likely that this started in their past, and they both have to go there with Wisnu. The closer he gets to the source, the bigger his chance to survive. He also tells them that this shaman used a shortcut to gain power. They planted the black magic inside an amulet, and they will have to destroy it to end this devilish cycle. Back to Banyuwangi in 1998, we learn that Hassan had clicked photos of Ahmad and Astudi's private moments, and he was demanding money from Ahmad. Ahmad asks him what if he refuses to pay, to which he says these pictures will find their way to his wife. Back to the present, Attic tells Essa and Wulan that Dad was going to Banyuwangi on the day of the accident so he could get better. Essa asks her does she has any other information on what happened in Banyuwangi, to which she gives them Gadot's address and phone number. She tells them that she called him once, but he asked whether her dad was alive. Now while they were leaving, Attic asks them to make sure they find whoever is responsible for this. Back in 1998, Ahmed tells Bondan about Hassan's plan, and says if Rima finds this out, they will lose their investor. He is okay with letting go of his marriage, but he knows how close this investor is to Rima. Ahmed gets ready to pay Hassan, but Bondan says they can't just let him do whatever he wants. He tells him that they will scare him off, and he has someone in mind for that. We then see Gadot, Dulmatin, and Ridho planning to intimidate Hassan, but Ridho says he still has doubts about this. Gadot tells him that if he is scared then bail now, and he will just split the money with Dulmatin. Ridho asks him what if Hassan goes to the police, to which Dulmatin says there have been 100 bodies found, and not one ninja has been caught. Back to the present, we see Gadot in his house, and his whole house is covered with mantra papers. Essa, Wulan, and others then reach there, and they find an offering outside his house. Essa knocks on the door, but gets no response, so they go to the other side, and Gadot tells them to go away as he doesn't receive guests. They tell him that they are Ahmad and Bondan's kids, and knowing this, Gadot comes out and asks them how do they know where he live. Essa tells him that Ridho told them to come here, and Gadot then let them in. He asks them where is Ridho, and why did he send them here. Essa tells him that he died, and Gadot says when he called, he figured his days were numbered. He then shows them insects crawling inside his body, and he tells them that he is experiencing the same things Ridho did, but thankfully he is still alive. Wulan says her parents and Essa's father died from the same black magic curses, and now her brother is fighting for his life, so they are here to free him from the curse. Gadot tells them that their parents were the actual root of the problem, and asks them if they are sure they want to hear the story. He then tells them that everything started when Hassan, the chauffeur, blackmailed Ahmad. He threatened to expose her father's affair with her mother. He and his friend were sent by Bondan to intimidate Hassan, and they went there in the form of ninjas wearing black masks. Hassan swear to God that he is not a black magic shaman, but they beat him a lot. Bondan and Ahmad were also watching all this from outside, and inside Gadot takes out his mask and tells Hassan that he is lucky they have reached their quota on shamans this month, so they will let him go, but he and his family must leave this town. But things go wrong when Gadot tries to scare him by putting a knife on her daughter, causing his wife and him to fight back, and this makes Gadot furious and he smashes him on a bookshelf. In all this, a piece of glass enters Hassan's throat, due to which he dies. They all get scared seeing this, and Gadot knocks Hassan's wife down. Ahmed tells Bondan that this is not right and that they have to go to the police, but Bondan stops him and tells him that they could end up in jail. Later, Gadot chops off Hassan's head, and he tells Ridho to give him a hand and make it look like the ninjas did this. Meanwhile, Hassan's wife wakes up, and Ridho asks Gadot what about the kid, to which he says Dulmatin took care of them. He then asks Ridho to kill her, but then he himself kills her by smashing her head with a rod. They then throw her into the river, but before they could throw Hassan, the villagers come there, so they leave there throwing Hassan on the bridge. They made a pact to never speak of that night ever again. He heard Ridho got married and moved to Jakarta with his wife, and Dulmatin went back to his hometown. 3 months later, he read the news of Dulmatin's death, and strangely after that, nothing was out of the ordinary. For 2 decades nothing happened to him, until about a month ago, things started to change. He heard a loud thud from the top of his house, and suddenly he begins choking and his stomach starts hurting, and he finds insects crawling under his skin. He tried asking many shamans to heal him, but nothing worked. He sent his wife and daughter away for their safety. He then hanged all these spells and placed these offerings to protect himself, and thankfully he is still alive to this day. Woolan says they didn't come here to hear his nonsense story, because there is no way their parents did that. They both then come out, and Gadot tell them that the sun is setting, and that's when the black magic is strongest. He asks them to come back tomorrow, and instead of arguing, they should find the shaman and finish them. That night, Harna tells Woolan that the person who sent the curse is not done with Wisnu yet. What he is doing, the effect is only temporary, and Wisnu will go on like this if they don't deal with the source. Essa then asks Woolan what if what Gadot said is all true. Woolan says even if it's true, it doesn't change the fact they were their parents and that Wisnu needs their help. On the other hand, someone knocks on Gadot's door, and he hears her daughter Ismi asking him to come out and play with her. He gets emotional hearing her voice and opens the door and finds Ismi standing outside. He asks her what she is doing out here, and he follows her out of the house. He then sees her wife there as well, and she tells him to come with them, and only then the door of his house shuts. He gets scared and looks back, and gets shocked to see that his wife and daughter are gone. Only then his stomach starts hurting and he tries to run back into his house, but someone from inside stabs him with a knife and knocks him down by hitting him on his head. Now the next day, Essa and Woolan return to see Gadot but get terrified seeing his dead body there. Back to Banyuwangi in 1998, we see that Hassan's wife Munic survived. She goes back to her house where she remembers how her husband was killed and then she faints there. Grandma Tane then comes there and says may God give her strength. We then see her at Grandma's house where Hassan asks her what's wrong with Munic, to which she tells him that she is fighting for her life. Harun asks her does she know what happened, to which she asks him to be patient and let her sister-in-law heal first. Now after a few days, when Munic recovers, Harun tells her that they have to get their hands dirty in order to have justice, to which she says he is right. Grandma asks them what will they do when they find them, to which Harun says they will kill them all. Grandma suggests them to use the time to learn, empower themselves, and when they are ready, they can get their revenge in a more subtle but deadlier way. They both do not listen to Grandma and kidnap Dalmatan, but before they could get any information from him, the police came there and in anger, Munic cuts off one of his fingers. The police then reach there, but before that, Dalmatan tells her Ahmed's name. Harun then hits him on his head, and Munic stabs him with the knife, and then police break in and arrest them. Back to the present, Essa asks Harna if could he track down the shaman again with the Ragasukma, to which he says they better not, as it may cost Wisnu his life. Only then Wisnu begins screaming, and when goes in to check him, they find insects crawling under his skin again. Harna again cuts his back with his dagger, causing Wisnu to faint, and he takes out a centipede from his body. He then throws and burns it in a bowl, and on the other hand, Wisnu's photo with Shaman begins burning too. The movie now shifts to 2018, when Munic gets released from jail. She returns to Granny and says she is ready now to learn, and to seek revenge her way. Granny says they will start tomorrow, an eye of an eye and blood for blood. Now in 2020, Harun also gets released from jail, and Munic comes there to receive him. Both of them go directly to the cemetery from there and dig out Hassan's skull and his remains from his grave. She cuts her hand with a bone and drips her blood on the skull, and she asks Harun to drink it. Now as he drinks it, he also gets some powers, and he says they will find them wherever they are. Back to the present, Essa and Woolan decide to go to her dad's office, but they find that Asep is not there and not even picking up their calls. Essa begins looking for him, and only then Asep knocks him down from behind him. Woolan then comes there and finds Essa unconscious, and then Asep comes to her and knocks her down too. Back in 2020 in Jakarta, Asep asks Ahmad to borrow 50 million rupiahs because the girl he wants to marry is demanding a dowry from him. Ahmad refuses to give him the money because he and Astuti think that the girl is a gold digger. Asep tells that girl that money could not be arranged, and she leaves him. After this, Munic comes into his life to trap him in her trap, and she gives him everything that was lacking in his life, so he agrees to help her in taking her revenge. We then see Woolan and Essa tied up, and she asks Asep what's going on. She asks Munic who she is and what does she want with them. Munic reveals that she is the one behind their family's sufferings, and Asep tells her that they have heard the story from Gadot. We then come to know that Asep had brought Harun into the house according to their planning, and he made them believe that he is harmless, and he had stolen their personal belongings and given them to Munic. She tells them that for 20 years she was waiting for this moment, and here it is revealed that when Dalmatan was about to kill Hassan's kids, Bondan and Ahmed stops him. Ahmed asks them their names, to which they say Woolan and Essa, and here they decide that they will adopt those kids. Ahmed brings Woolan home and tells Astuti that she is the daughter of one of his suppliers, but her parents passed away, so he got her here. Essa and Woolan get disturbed to know that they are actually siblings because both of them had come very close to each other and had also become physical. Munic then begins black magic on Wisnu, due to which his head begins hurting, and she tells Woolan that she deliberately saved the boy for the last so that she can finish it. She tells her to kill him, and 𝐴𝐸 also tells her to do it so they can be rich with all the money she inherits from Ahmad. Woolan denies doing it, but 𝐸𝐸 tells 𝐀𝐄𝐒 to let him do it, and Woolan gets shocked to hear this. She tries to stop him, but 𝐸𝐸 throws her down, and 𝐀𝐄𝐒 hands him a knife and Wisnu's photo to kill him. He says their parents were hypocrites, and they were the real villains here, so they deserved what happened to them, and this is the only way to end Wisnu's pain. He then suddenly stabs a knife at 𝐴𝐸's neck, causing 𝐀𝐄𝐒 to get shocked and terrified. She gets furious and begins attacking 𝐸𝐸 and Woolan. She grabs hold of Woolan's hair and plucks it, and then she eats it while reading some spells. Now as Woolan tries to attack her, 𝐀𝐄𝐒 begins breaking her finger, and then she cuts her face. She tells her that if they can't be a family here, they will become one in hell. 𝐸𝐸 gets up and pushes her out of the house, and when he tries to strangle her, he notices that Woolan is also getting strangled. 𝐸𝐸 goes to her, and meanwhile, 𝐀𝐄𝐒 spills out Woolan's hair, and then she stabs him with a knife. This makes Woolan furious, so she picks up Hassan's skull and hits 𝐀𝐄𝐒 with it, causing her to fall down, and then she kills her by drowning her in a puddle nearby. She then goes to 𝐸𝐸, who tells her that he doesn't know whether the things 𝐀𝐄𝐒 said were true or not, but he is grateful to have known her, and then he dies there. Now after a few days, we see that Wisnu has recovered. Woolan takes a pregnancy test, and she learns that she is pregnant, and only then maggots falls on her and the series ends here. Please like and subscribe to my channel and click the bell icon never to miss new video updates. Thanks for watching.